It does. I mean,
so
you got to be like that.
you have
know?
to, yeah.
And I think that's one of the main reasons why, and I don't want to sound conceited or like I'm blowing smoke up my own ass, but why, I guess I speak so well because I'm just the average everyday guy. It just tells it as it is. There's no bullshit. There's no airs and graces. It's either yes or no. There's no grey matter. You will or you won't. It's as simple as that. And, man, I have issues every day with, like, getting money out of an ATM. How hard it is.
Oh, yeah.
The trust you got to put in someone.
Really?
To, like, I mean, obviously I trust you. You're my mate. But to go down to an ATM and someone walk by and say, oh, mate, I need to get $50 out. Can you help me?
Yeah.
Would you do that? This is the trust you got to put in other people.
Yeah. Okay,
So,
well, what do you think of other people? Some other person said once, hey, when people drive up to you on the street and they'll say, hey, do you know someone, I just saw it happen actually. I need to get to number 43 Ferry Road. Like Canadian chicks.
Yeah.
Good looking too.
oh, hey.
Yeah. But,
Well, thank you.
And people by nature, even if they're the cool guy, whatever, oh, yeah, it's just down there. So by nature, you're kind of friendly.
Yeah.
Without ego. When someone asks you for directions.
Yeah.
So what do you get on the street?
We were in a shopping centre yesterday, back up in Brisbane, and this guy, pig of a guy, asked Leanne where JB Hi-Fi was. And she didn't know, so she asked me, and I pointed out where it was. And then he just stormed off like, nah, nah, nah. I'm thinking, mate, if I had legs, I'd kick up the arse right now. Like, even when we were in America, a taxi bloody pulled up to take us to where we had to go, and he was a pig of a taxi driver, and he was speaking to Leanne really rudely. There was Leanne Clayton and I, and he was speaking to Leanne really rudely, and he didn't see me, and I come around the corner, stuck my head around the corner, and said, you right, mate? And he started speaking to me really. So as I slammed his door closed, I said, mate, we're not going to use your fucking taxi, that's for sure. Go and pick up someone else.
Right.
And you don't have to put up with that bullshit.
No.
Why can't people just treat people with common courtesy? Seriously. It drives me insane.
Yeah.
Drives me insane.
I told you I got turned the TV off.
Yeah.
It's done great things for me.
Really?
I actually think that, 100 years ago, we weren't watching any news.
No.
We knew nothing. If I was in Surfers Paradise 100 years ago, I wouldn't know anything about Brisbane.
No.
Unless I picked up a paper.
Yep.
Or definitely wouldn't know anything about the bloody Middle East or any of that.
No,
you wouldn't know. So it's not even natural to know that stuff.
Yeah.
And I found it's been 12 months now without... It's not so much watching the news, it's when you're watching a show and then the ad comes on.
Yeah.
You go, oh, and you get concerned, and then that concern just feels like, it's this big cloud that builds up. It's changed my life.
Yeah. That's
Really
not a bad
good.
thing that you've done. I think it was Skyhooks had a great song called Horror Movie. About the 6 o'clock
Right
news.
there on my TV.
Yeah. It was about the 6 o'clock news.
Yeah.
Think about it,
it's like 40 years, 50 years of that stuff now.
Yeah. I mean, look at Cheryl. What a great guy. And a terrible, tragic death in that chopper crash. But, we grew up with him, in Cheryl's neighbourhood and all that sort of stuff. And, but you sit here and you watch the news. What's the good thing to come out of the news? Is there anything good? I mean, you might hear the odd good story like the guy that jumped in the river and saved that guy's life after he had an episode when he crashed his car in Brisbane River last week, right? Just some bystander ripped his car up, dived in the river and saved this guy's life.
Right.
Great thing to do. Yeah. When you're hearing stories like that, mate, they can show the news all day long as far as I'm concerned, really.
Yeah.
But all this gun shit that's going on and all the people getting murdered and said, I understand it's life, but does everyone need to hear about it?
That's right.
If someone dies in Broome in WA from a gunshot, we'll hear about it over here, right?
And worse, we'll tell the people down the shops down the road.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that thing.
In China, they have over 300,000 road fatalities a year.
Wow.
300,000.
Wow.
Right? 70,000 people a month die from work-related accidents.
Wow.
In China. Right?
Right.
We don't hear about any of that stuff.
Yeah,
do
right.
we?
So they
but
choose...
But nor do they.
Okay.
Because they don't publicise it. They don't, they don't write about it or...
Yeah. And in turn, they don't blame anyone because we hear about all these things. Oh, workplace health and safety need to be doing something better. So we'll go down the shops and we'll complain about workplace health and safety, and we become that.
With that happening, with the workplace health and safety, I am a little concerned now with the government allowing a lot of Chinese Christians to come into this country. And I mean, as long as they got to follow our rules and follow our laws and don't cut any circles, because the Chinese people are renowned for cutting circles to make things cheaper. Yep. And when things are cheaper, the job's cheaper. And we're not like that in this country. No. I don't mind paying an extra $100 if I know it's going to be a much better job than than what it should be. Yeah. So
you think about their population, so many people,
1.5 billion people,
just to get a job. What fighting you'd have to do to get there?
Well, they don't have a lot of big machinery in that over there, Drew. And this is why, because everyone needs a job.
Yeah.
They much rather push wheelbarrows and pick rocks up with your hands. It gives you don't get paid a lot of money, but you still get paid.
Right.
And it takes a lot longer to do the job, but everyone's got a job.
Yeah, and there will be someone there to do it for 20 cents.
Yeah, that's exactly
Why buy
right.
that machine?
Yeah. If you look at China and you look at India, there's half the world's population in just those two countries.
Yeah.
That's crazy,
Tell me, because I haven't been to China, what's the air like? What's it,
Oh,
yeah.
it's not like it is here, mate.
No, this is a special place.
What do you see out there? You see the sky?
Everything. I could see probably Brisbane.
See how blue the sky is?
Yeah.
Can't see that in China.
Wow.
No birds flying around.
Wow.
In most of the cities. I've been to about 170 cities in China now. And, some of them have been absolutely beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful places. And some of them have been disgustingly shitholes. But it's like that here in Australia. We've got some beautiful cities here in Australia and some crap places too. America has them, the UK have them, all through Europe, they're all like that. Paris, I hate it. It's a shithole.
Really?
It's a filthy, disgusting place.
Yeah.
And
hey, what about people spitting on the street?
Oh, China? Yeah. Oh, man.
Wow.
You don't dare overtake someone that's going, oh. They're trying to educate people now that they've got to drop it in the bin.
Yep.
You know what I mean? It's just, and in China too, they have the baby's clothing. They don't have nappies because you can imagine the freaking dumps, mate. They'll be full of nappies and stuff like that.
Right.
So they have slits in their pants, and they just run out and they just shit in the gutters or shit anywhere. They just. Oh,
that's it.
Oh yeah,
it smells.
Oh yeah, and there's no hygiene like in the toilets. Like I've done seminars in big stadiums, and you go to use the toilet. And the cleaners are mopping floors with urine-soaked mops, and there's no toilet paper. You go in there, and there's ladies, monthlies in the corner there. And,
crazy.
It is gross. It is gross.
We have a okay. We're in a tourist city here.
Yeah.
So, and I worked in SeaWorld for a while. So I sort of, and my wife's Japanese, so I take the mickey out of her flat out all the time.
And she's beautiful, that.
Oh, thank you, mate. She is. I don't know how I got up.
Yeah, well, look at ours, mate. We got top drawer.
Hey, high five.
Yeah.
Hey, so I always take, when the Japanese bus would get to SeaWorld, we'd know from 200 metres away, the Japanese bus is here, because they would stay in two lines. Yeah. And they'd wear their waterproof, their little raincoat on, even though it wasn't raining. Yeah. Just like they'd stay and they'd do everything in these lines. Okay? Yeah. But when the Chinese bus would get here, no lines. It was just like, and that's culturally how they do it. I'm not putting it on them.
Right? No.
But we went to SeaWorld Nara Resort the other week, and we're at the it's a big buffet dinner, breakfast thing there. And wow, that's where you notice different cultures. Like there's a guy. Everyone was just horrified what they were seeing. The guy was eating everything, tasting everything out of the buffet food and putting it back. Yeah. Like tasting like yogurts and things.
And
like,
that's Chinese,
straight
right?
back in, yeah. And then I said it to the chef guy, because they stand out there and they make pancakes and do eggs for people. And these guys just kept going behind into the kitchen, and trying to make their own sort of stuff. And they said, no matter what we do, we can't sort of stop their culture. That's what they do. Mm. So you should learn Chinese. Actually,
I can speak a little bit Chinese.
Yeah?
Yeah. Hi, number 67, your lemon chicken is ready. But I
I
can
love
speak a little
lemon
bit
chicken.
of Chinese.
Yeah.
But you're exactly spot on there with the culture. Is that the Japanese are so regimented. If I do a show in Japan, and if the show starts at 7:30, the doors are locked at 7:20.
Yeah.
And if you're not in there, you can't get in.
Yep.
Right? But in China, if the show starts at 7:30, people are going in and out making a shitload of noise right up until 9 o'clock.
Wow.
It's really unbelievably crazy.
Very different.
Oh yeah, very, very different. Very different. But mate, I'm looking forward to having your lovely wife cook some Oriental flavours for us too.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I love rice.
You shouldn't have said lemon chicken, though. Even though it's Chinese food, I just want that now. You love rice?
I love rice.
Why? My wife loves it. I can't see.
Really?
I'm an Aussie. I'm like bread. Our rice is bread. Yeah.
Yeah, look, I love bread too. Like, if I'm going to be the wog, I'll have a bowl of spaghetti with a shitload of bread.
Yeah.
For sure. But ever since I was a little boy, even my grandmother, my yaya, always thought I had a lot of Asian because I just love rice. Steamed rice with gravy and chicken in it, mate. Wow. Just steamed rice with milk and bloody brown sugar. I just love rice. I love it terribly.
They do. I mean, they almost starve to death, the Japanese. So they do things like you get rice and then sprinkle the tiniest amount of little flavors through it. Like it could be sesame seeds, and this tiny, you can barely taste it. But that's like, yes, that's one. There's about 30 of those different things. To me, the Aussie, I just see rice. So she's like, this is so good. I'm like, yeah, but where's the stuff you put on top of it? Where's the rest? You're mad about rice. But
I love it, mate. I love it. Oh, yeah. I love it.
Far out. Have you ever had natto? Natto is their Vegemite. Just like people don't understand why we love Vegemite. If you ever go to Japan and get natto, it smells like socks. It's sticky. It's this bean curd, but it's actually fermented bean curd. It's
then I won't be having
horrible.
it, mate. No.
Oh, it's the number
one. Number one, I don't have socks to smell. The number two, I hate bean curd.
yeah, you'd be double confused. How are you going over there?
Going great, champion.
Yeah.
Going great. It's a beautiful day. Why wouldn't I be?
Yeah. I always notice when I do these podcasts, we get to about now,
yeah,
where there's a
lull.
Yeah, a bit of a lull. It's become my favourite bit because it's sort of like all the bullshit's gone.
Yeah,
and then just like we're probably kicking into our last 15 minutes where the next conversation is always the best.
So, what's the favourite thing that your lovely lady cooks for you?
Well, funnily enough, she doesn't do a lot of Japanese stuff.
Right.
She learned to cook in Australia.
Mm-hmm.
So all your pasta and stuff like that. She does a mean okonomiyaki.
What?
Yeah, okonomiyaki, which is like a...
It sounds like a Greek dish.
Yeah, right. Well, actually, the Japanese language is pretty similar to, how we have A-E-I-O-U.
Yep.
They've got the same, but it's A-E-I... Oh, yeah, I should know it. Then it just goes ka-ka, ki-ka-ku, da-da-dee-da. So it's very similar.
Yep.
So I love it. It's pretty lucky for me. I'm
Do
not
they have an alphabet?
like Chinese is pretty tough, isn't it?
Do they have an alphabet?
Yep.
They do?
Yeah. It's they're trying to break away from the Chinese because it's a Chinese language translated.
Yeah.
So they sort of broke it up so you could spell it easier. They actually made an effort.
Yep.
It's katakana and hiragana. Hiragana is the Chinese one, and katakana is the new style where it's like an alphabet.
Yep.
More like ka is K-A. And
right, okay. Because
in
China, there's so many different symbols, or, like there's thousands of them, and sometimes it depends, the way you put it in a sentence can mean something completely different.
Yeah.
And it looks the same,
Yeah.
so...
Well, you understand how it's actually like cave writing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, what does that comedian say? He said it'd be impossible to play Wheel of Fortune in China.
Yeah.
He'd be like, and he was a Southern American, like, y'all got an upside down house with a goat in it?
Yeah. That's Jeff Foxworthy.
yeah. Yes, but I'll say, what's that? She goes, look, it's a picture of a man, like a stick figure of a man. So it either means men toilet here,
yeah.
or if it's man, don't, hey, men, don't do this.
Yeah.
It'll just be a whole bunch of pictures. You go, isn't that's pretty different
Is that
to
what it
our
means?
way.
Does it mean man?
Yeah, but that's going back to what you just said.
Yeah.
There could be a picture, but when you really look at it, it's like,
Yeah.
wow, that's a tree. It's a tree. Okay. And then, but if you